Polytechnics are being upgraded to universities because the nature of skills have changed, the nature of the economy has changed, and the old techniques that formed the idea of polytechnics, the world has changed remarkably. I think it's not even about the size of Kano population. It's about the fact that relative to our population, we need more universities that will be specialized in equipping our young ones with the relevant skills that a knowledge-driven world requires. So I don't think this requires much more debate. I have listened. I think the facts are clear to me. There are even people from my village giving opportunity would like to go to Kano. The other thing that we must always play up is that when we set up institutions like this or we upgrade, everything has to be somewhere. Many of us in this hall acquire our secondary or university educations in states other than our states of origin. Ahmadu Bello University has produced people from the south, from the north, from the east, from the west. The same with University of Ibadan. The same with Ife. So the location is not for me even the big issue. The big issue is we must begin to consciously move to create universities of science and technology to re-emphasize the skills that modern world, modern economies demand. A smart world requires smart skills. So, Mr. President, I support this bill and I agree we should do it expeditiously. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr.
President, I stand to second the bill the motion ably moved by Senator Hussein on behalf of the Deputy Senate President. That, Mr. President, I would like you to give me a few minutes to speak on the education of that area. The Kano State is very big and require more universities. If you want to share ratio to universities, I think between Kano and Jigawa, should be looking for more universities. So because the number of people there, they are very large. So I wholly second this bill because moving a polytechnic to a university is just an easy job because the infrastructures are there. What we are asking for is not too much because the buildings are there already made. It's a polytechnic, existing polytechnic converting to a university. So I urge my colleagues and people in leadership to support this bill because it's something that will bring prosperity, educational prosperity to people of Kano, Jigawa, and that area, and people of Nigeria. So there are a lot of Nigerians that are not from Kano living in Kano, and they will be able to have access to education in Kano. Mr. President, I so support.
Distinguished colleagues, I rise to lend my support to the lead debate on the establishment of the Federal University of Science and Technology, Cabo Kano State. I want to say, Mr. President, on a personal note, that the mention of Cabo comes to me with a lot of nostalgia, because on a personal note, as a student in the Federal Government College, Kano, Alhaji Dan Cabo was a household name and the proprietor of the Cabo Air. And so everybody, people of all shades, usually flock to the place at weekends to have some level of succor from him, a very philanthropic Nigerian to the core. Outside that, Mr. President, I think that this bill cannot have come at a better time. The world is going digital, and technology is a new thing. And so I think that establishing a University of Science and Technology to enable Nigerians, not just Kano State people, or people of the Northwest zone, but the whole of Nigeria, to imbue them with necessary skill to prepare Nigeria to the 21st century is a welcome development. I support this bill, and I pray that my colleagues will support this bill to be read a second time and to be passed very expeditiously because time waits for nobody. It's a very straightforward bill, and I hope sincerely that the Senate will approve this bill to the betterment of Nigeria. I so support, Mr. President.
Thank you.
My distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator Rufai Hanga, representing Kano Central. Mr. President, this bill for the establishment of this university is very timely, especially at this time when, one, the Northwest is known all over this country for backwardness in education. Number two, it is high time we have our boys and girls educated in these technological skills because it will help boost our economy, it will help create employment. People were relying on employment by government and companies. But when somebody attends a technology university, he will learn skills where he can establish his business and be an employer. So, Mr. President, this is well thought and very timely. I support it 100%, and I hope my colleagues will support us because this is not for the mover, but for us. I hope we will be supported for this, for the adoption of this, for the third reading, to get through the third reading, and certainly to get through up to assent by the President. Thank you, Mr. President.
The Deputy Leader.
And I'm of the opinion that we should save time by quickly passing it. There's no doubt about it that Kano is a very big metropolis in terms of population. Not only that, the economy of Kano is bigger than the economy of most countries in Africa. The business activity and intense quest for knowledge in Kano can never be overstated. I'm of the opinion that this university will not just be useful to indigenes of Kano, it will be useful to all of us in the north and mostly all of us in Nigeria. So I will appeal to Mr. President to quickly pass it so that this bill can see the light of day.
Thank you, Leader. I think going by the advice, national economy is human capital resources. And what is really in the front burner now is ICT and science-related disciplines, artificial intelligence, robotics, and so on and so forth. So it's through this kind of institution you'll be able to train those who can be experts in these areas. So that's why it's important to convert this Polytechnic into a university. So this bill is hereby referred to the Committee on Tertiary Institution and Telephone to report back within. Okay, Clerk of the Senate.
To lead the debate with your kind permission on this very important bill. on behalf of the sponsor of the bill, distinguished Senator Barrow I. Jibril, the Deputy Senate President. Mr. President and my highly revered distinguished colleagues, I respectfully rise to lead the debate on the general principles of this important bill, which seeks to establish the Federal University of Science and Technology, Cabo, in Kano State. The bill was read the first time in this hallowed chamber on Wednesday, 5th February 2025. You will agree with me, my dear colleagues, that the importance of education to the socio-economic development of Nigeria and the world at large cannot be overemphasized. Because in emerging trends in the 21st century that requires adequate preparation so that our country is not left behind in its attempt to align with global educational dynamics. It is in line with this reason that this bill has been developed to be established in Kano State in view of its cosmopolitan nature. I don't need to overemphasize the population and the size of Kano State and why it is desirous that we should have more educational institutions in Kano State is a given point. The proposed University of Science and Technology will provide that requisite knowledge and expertise that will drive modern technology and innovations in Nigeria. The objectives of the university, as outlined in the bill, amongst others, include: 1, to encourage the advancement of learning to all persons without discrimination of race, creed, sex, or political conviction. 2, to develop and offer academic, technical, and professional programs leading to the award of certificates, first degree, postgraduate research, diploma, and higher degrees with emphasis on planning, developmental, and adaptive skills in education, engineering, technology, applied science, and allied professional disciplines. Number 3, to produce socially mature educational men and women with capabilities not only to understand the educational and technological needs of Nigeria as a nation, but also to exploit existing educational infrastructure and opportunities, and to also improve on them with a view to developing new ones. Distinguished colleagues, Mr. President, and my highly respected colleagues, the enactment of this bill will go a long way in transforming the decayed educational infrastructure in Nigeria and change the educational fortunes of the country for the better. It will also provide a balanced educational development in Kano State. In line with Order 76, subsection 3 of the Senate Standing Order 2003 as amended, the financial compendium is hereby attached for noting and consideration. Therefore, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, it is my ardent prayer that you consider the plight of the people who are desirous of becoming professional technologists and support the expeditious passage of this bill. I thank you very much for your understanding and for your patience, and I have attached for your guidance the financial implication on the